we're here, let's find this assassin.
Careful. Sense the presence of other vampires. Arrow fiends. Not the result of the ritual we stopped. So they must have brought them from someplace else.
I heard there are listeners tracking the coven. Be on the lookout.
Chase? This isn't long enough. Mr. Sada shall revive the exarchs.
Queen Gertrude, you bastard.
Now we need to find Sister Thought. You listen in. I'll unlock the door.
Rise, Exarch, and be reborn!
Singalis, where is this place?
The Ashen Lord commands it, and so we live once more, Orfra.
Alive again? How?
You have the Ice Reach Coven to thank for that, werewolf.
Using my recipes, witch.
I meant no disrespect to Exarch Singalis.
We're being watched, brother.
Next time, Thada, the Ashen Lord, will expect more than the restoration of a single reliquary. Now deal with the intruders, or I'll toss you to the Harrow Fiends.
Come out, little skeevers. Come out and play with Sister Sarda.
How many of your sisters am I gonna have to kill before you give up?
Is it you who killed my dear sisters? Our vengeance will plague you beyond the grave.
One more witch for the pyre. Let's go after the other two. Damn, lost them.
You saw it too, right? That werewolf shed that statue like a snake sheds its skin. Was she inside that stone husk the whole time, waiting to be awakened? Or did the ritual somehow summon her into that vessel? There's a lot I still don't understand. A ritual, obviously. Remember the altar at Kilcreath? We found the urn, the reliquary, and shards from a large stone vessel. I think they were the remains of one of those stone husks. I'm not sure how, but it all ties back to the Harrowstorms. I thought the purpose of the Harrowstorms were to create Harrow Fiends, but now I think that's only a byproduct. The storm somehow gathered energy that the witch used to summon Ulfra the werewolf. Ulfra seems to think she was brought back to life. I've come to the conclusion that anything is possible where magic is concerned. I'm going to look around with Lyris, then return to Old Mjolnir to finish studying the witchpike residue. Maybe that will help me understand how the ritual works. Theoretically, using my knowledge of alchemy and Old Mjolnir's understanding of reach magic, we should be able to figure something out once we know what components were used in the ritual. I don't know of any Ashen Lord, but Exarch. I came across the term after the incident at the mass grave in Bankurai. It's a rank used by the ancient army. Its members were buried in that unhallowed grave, and their remains were smuggled here. The Grey Host. It was an army of vampires and werewolves that rampaged across Hammerfell during the First Era. There aren't a lot of records remaining, and even the burial site was a closely held secret. Exarch was a rank, like General, I suppose. I don't know. But that's the impression I got from the witch's conversation with the Exarchs. I wish I knew more about this Sengalis and Ulfra, though. And the Ashen Lord, for that matter. That's why I want to check the ritual site. I've come to the conclusion.
Damn it! The vampire and the werewolf are long gone. They called themselves Singalis and Ulfra, and they had an unusual rank or title, Exarch. I wonder what that means. Yeah, I heard. No idea who or what that is, though. Maybe Fen can make sense of what we saw down here. In the meantime, I'm gonna head back inside. I want to get a better look at those stone husks that were left behind. While Fen and I examine that ritual site more closely, you should return to Solitude and inform Svanna that her mother's assassin has been taken care of. She'd want to know. More than that, she deserves to know. I left Svanna back at the Lonely Troll under the care of that drunken orc Mog. Unless he ignored my rather stern warnings, he should be keeping the princess there. I'll meet you back in the city once we finish here. Anything that tells us more about what the Coven and its allies are trying to accomplish. Maybe something about this Ashen Lord. I'd even settle for a clue that points us to any other strongholds they have down here. We need something more to go on. Because I don't trust the security at the palace. Vampire or not, the assassin had too easy a time getting close to the Queen. Besides, Svanna feels comfortable at the tavern. I figured she needed some comfort after watching her mother die. Yeah!
Finally. Waiting in a tavern without a drink is maddening. How do other people do it? And Mog hasn't been helpful. His solution to every problem involves a great amount of alcohol. What news of the bastard who murdered my mother? Did you find him? I would have preferred to see him dragged back here for a proper trial and execution. But at least justice has been served. Were you able to determine who was behind the murder? Was it connected to the threat you came to warn my father about? Damn those Reach witches! And damn my father for being so obstinate! But what does the Coven want? Are they planning to kill my father? What else can you tell me about this threat to our kingdom? That's horrible. But there must be more to this than simply turning my people into monsters. Well, I'll do what I can to help you. Mother would have wanted me to. What you've done and discovered will be enough to convince my father. It has to be. You and Lyris risked your lives for my kingdom and have been met with nothing but suspicion. You counted on my mother to be your advocate, to convince my father of the Coven's threat. Now she's gone. I'm no substitute, but I'll speak for you. My father hasn't heard a word I've said since I was old enough to talk. But with Mother gone, someone has to make him see reason. You know, she tried to teach me, but I never listened. I guess maybe I'm more like my father than I care to admit. That makes it even more imperative that he heeds your warning and takes action. All of the holds are in danger. Hoffingar, Hjalmarch, Karthald. My father needs to do something before another storm strikes. Meet me at the Blue Palace, all right? I just need a moment to think about how to approach this. Consider the words to use. My courtly manners are a bit rusty, and I've never been much for diplomacy and fancy speeches. Shore's bones, I could use a drink. I'm not sure of anything. If I don't do this, though, I'll never forgive myself if something terrible befalls the kingdom. Right. Easy as honey-baked pie. It's not like you came here at the behest of his most hated rival or anything. Look, I'll do my best to get him to listen. You have my word on that. It feels like I've been shattered into 1,000 pieces and swept under a rug. But I don't have time to mourn right now, not with the kingdom in danger. Now, let's go talk to my father before I change my mind. I'm not sure of anything. That's nice of you to say, but I'm not sure I believe that. I hope she's watching all this from Sovngarde. Bet she hates it there. Look, I'll do my best to get my father to listen to you. You have my word on that. Wish me luck, Mog.
What?
Yeah! Did you meet the new commander?
Welcome to the Mages Guild Library. Please handle our books and scrolls with the care they deserve. I already cast out a careless dark elf. I pray that I will not have to ask anyone else to leave today. Ugh. Do you work with that strutting war Narcissus Dren? The vain scholar? Scholar my shedding tail scales. He tore a page in a valuable book, and I suspect he stole one of Melmoth's scrolls. What reason could I possibly have to help you? Quite a coincidence that two people come calling for the same rare text on the same day. Then again, helping one of Narcissus Dren's competitors does warm my scales. Fine. The journal's there on the table. But if any harm comes to it, I will find out. The journal is just there on the table. I should warn you, Male Moth was mad as a sack of weasels. Whatever you intend to do with the text, I doubt it will be worth the effort.
You would have me spread my forces across the realm to search for nightmares you dredged up from a bottle?
It's not!
Or should I say, the whispers of eastern vipers tickling your ears?
But Mother!
Enough! Then next you come before me to vomit up your counsel. Make sure it doesn't stink of treason.
Damn the man. He wouldn't let me get a word in edgewise. Mother always knew how to talk to him. Me, not so much. Mother had a way with Father, but she could be just as stubborn. If she wanted something done and he wouldn't oblige, she'd do it herself. Time to take her lessons to heart, I guess. If my father won't take a stand, then I suppose it's up to me. Our kingdom consists of 3 holds. Halfingar, Hjalmarch, and Kartholt. I need to warn them. The Jarls might listen, even if my father won't. I'm the daughter of the High King, after all. Time to start acting like one. Will you come with me? We should visit Jarl Redharn of Hjalmarch first. If we can convince him of the threat, at least his hold can take steps to protect itself. We'll find him in his hall in Morthal. I'll leave word for Lyris with Mog, so she'll know where to find us. Honestly, I don't know. But Jarl Redharn tempers his warrior nature with a kindness not often seen in people of his stature. Besides, he's always had a soft spot for me ever since his daughter and I played together at moots and other gatherings. I remember a time when we were all happy together. Him and Mother and I. Seems like a long time ago. At some point, he became more and more involved with the trappings of power. He was more interested in being the High King than my father. I tried, but interaction with my father made it difficult. She wanted us to be a family. But the High King wanted a queen and a princess. Eventually, he stopped ordering me to attend royal functions. It was my one victory in our relationship.
What is it?
I expected to see a drunken souse named Dobbin walk through that door, not this incredible specimen before me. Tell me, what became of the man I hired? Well, Dobbin's indolence may be my gain. Look at you. I can see you are ready for action at a moment's notice. How would you like to help Skyrim's premier arts college in its moment of need? The storied Bard's College, home of honeyed birds and tear-jerking tunes. For years, a rift within the college threatened to split us apart. One overzealous member hid our antique instrument collection to bring about a truce, but it didn't work. Excellent question. The only clue to their location lie in a song written by the bard responsible, Nell's Hidden Loves. Just as I solved the first verse, that instrument emerged for sale at a secret auction. I wish to hire you to recover it. Now, naturally, you can't walk into a secret auction without the proper attire, especially not the Sapphire Societies. Their events are outre and rare, mind-boggling and taboo fair. No serfs at their affair. Sorry, I can't help myself. All these secret societies love disguising themselves. It gives a sense of excitement to their lives of leisure. Fortunately, bards hear all sorts of secrets. Wearing this robe and mask will get you in the door. You also need the right passphrase. The magnates of the Sapphire Society speak a simple phrase to gain entry into their events. A jewel of blue rules the view. Truly underscores how they see themselves, doesn't it? You might want to practice it, just to be sure. Excellent. You scan lines quickly, I see. Still, I would avoid any ad-libbing. Remember, a jewel of blue rules the view. Well, you and I will save it together. A joint effort, brains and brawn. When they pen the song of this adventure, no doubt you will receive a mention. And what a song it will be, a tale of civil war, misguided decisions, and my stalwart bravery. Many years ago, the college had a collection of legendary instruments. Each inspired great passions, strength, love, tragedy. There was an argument among the bards. How best should the instruments be used? Some said the instruments were too precious and needed protection. Others asked, what use are they if they can't be played? The two sides actually came to blows. Fretboards and inkwells flying every which way. It was all quite exhilarating. One of the college's greatest bards, Nell Farsong, took them. She thought if the instruments went missing, the fighting could end. So she hid them throughout Skyrim, which ended the war, but only because everyone was enraged at Nell. So she died. Very sad. And she never told a soul where to find the instruments. But while reading Nell's Hidden Loves, I realized it held clues to their locations. If we recover them based on her clues, I'll be a legend. It's a loot called Petra Loop. Actually, it's Petra Loot, but try saying that after 5 strong meads. It was the learning loot at the college for generations, played by dozens, hundreds of bards over the years. It means a lot to us. Well, I hate to brag, but I am quite famous. Even if I wore the Sapphire Society disguise, the members would immediately recognize my voice. Such is the heavy burden of artistic success.
Speak. Welcome, and enter.
If you want to see our next item, you'll have to wait like everyone else. No private previews. You should know the rules. But believe me, you'll want to stick around for this one. It's a head-turner. The loot? Nice patina. Just a trifle I came across in one of my hunts. It went on the block earlier. Too bad you weren't here then. There was only one buyer. A little bidding war would have warmed up the crowd. Now I do wish you had been here. You are skirting the rules. No revealing identities of buyers. Still, if you had arrived on time, you would know that the buyer behaved like an obnoxious ass. We typically frown upon stumbling about from drink.
That white mammoth certainly drew quite a bit of interest. So glad I won. They're so rare. Let's just hope the broker didn't cover a brown mammoth in talcum powder. Oh, why am I worried? The broker never lets us down.
The decrees from the Blue Palace are simply absurd. Investigating transfers of suspected stolen property? Who cares where someone got it? If I want it and they have it, I should be able to buy it. You know, as great as it is to be here to acquire some of these incredibly rare items, the excitement of being here in disguise is half the fun. You'd be quite shocked to find out what I'm wearing under these robes.
Oh look, another masked person, how dreary. If a steak comes back on the block, don't you outbid me. When else will I get to try Argonian? I hear they're all flavour and no fat. Ha! Oh look, another masked person. How instrument? Oh, that loot. Yes, a mantelpiece for my music room. Has a nice shine to it. I acquired it for a song. A song! I made a joke, see? Ha! Why are you asking? Disappointed I bought it? Then too bad for you. Perhaps by the window that looks out onto the thoroughfare. Watching those stuffy antiquarians rave over dusty trinkets always gives me a laugh. Whatever. It better be done by the time I return home or I'll whip those lazy servants. There? What's that?
scout has been summoned and should be here at any moment.
You! Stop! Where have you been hiding all my life? If we clear your name, maybe we can talk of other things. I regret that I must go back to my patrol. Maybe later.
You've returned! Have you brought back the petroloop? Will my fingers glide over its gentle curves once more? Ah, petroloop returns home! You know, I wooed my first love with this very loot, and my third as well. Thus begins the restoration of the college's famed collection to its former greatness. The history books will remember you for this. I assembled the museum for just this moment, but I think you deserve the honor of placing Petroloop on its podium. After you display the loot, perhaps you could read Nell's hidden loves. I could use your skill in recovering the other instruments. Ah, wonderful! I left a copy of Nell's hidden loves on the table there. Have a look. Wonderful! Look at the proud Petroloop in its proper place once more. And we're a step closer to undoing Nell's folly. But there are many other priceless instruments lost somewhere out in the world. They need to come home. Yes, indeed. Let the clues within Nell's hidden loves guide the way. As you travel through Skyrim, keep your eyes open. And your ears, too. These are instruments we're pursuing after all. If you find more of them, I'll be here. They say the first one is always the hardest. Everything should be much easier from here. Once you recover all the instruments, I will compose an epic, an adventurer's triumph, to celebrate their return. You will star in it, of course. Of course it will be. We will use the instruments too. They should be revered, yes, but used for special occasions. But first, more instruments. You'll have expenses. Let me weigh you down with some gold before you go. As you fill the museum, bards from all over will make their way to Solitude. Keep working on the clues in Nell's poem. Once we have all the instruments collected, the performance can begin. With the clues in Nell's hidden loves and the return of Petroloop, word will travel fast among bards. I hear the vibrations among students, members, and alumni of the college already. Certainly, it will likely open a new dialogue about our legendary instruments, should they return in good order. You began something truly great here. Maestros that were once enemies have already started talking to each other again. Ah, yes, you may not be so familiar with the structure here. Maestros are the faculty of the Bard's College, Master Bards. The head maestro manages the college as a whole. Currently, that is Catrell Gioric.
Yeah! Yeah!
Ah, assistant. It's about time. So, any luck with that cold-blooded librarian? Excellent! I must admit, I had my doubts, but you're turning out to be a model employee. Assistant. Partner? Whatever. Now, if you just hand it over, I can try to untangle Mailmoth's riddles and set us on the right path. She would. This text reveals Mailmoth's mysterium, his trove to arcane trinkets and treasures. Now, just give me a moment to, Yes, I have it. This clearly refers to a meditation grotto near Kilcreath, one of Shalador's old haunts. Well, to be frank, this seems too good to be true. A single riddle leading to our prize? Too easy. Then again, things often come easy to an adventurer of my caliber. I have some business to conclude here. I'll meet you at Kilcreath once I'm finished. How would I not? Ancient mysteries are Narcisstren's stock in trade. No arcane relic or lost antiquity evades my gaze for long. Surely you've read some of my books? They're bestsellers, Assistant. I can get you some, at a very reasonable price. Well, advanced scholarship always involves a bit of give and take. For example, an elderly mage I met in Riften made a, modest contribution. But make no mistake, it was I who cracked Melmoth's riddles. He was, for a time, struck me as something of an obsession, if I'm being honest. 50 years he's been at this Melmoth business. 50 years! Oh, can you imagine? That might be a reasonable period of study for an elf, but for a Nord? Ooh, it's untenable. Of course I did. What kind of Mer would I be if I let that doddering fossil waste his scant remaining years chasing riddles like this? I may be ambitious, but I am never cruel. I took his notes as a personal and professional courtesy. Yes, of course, all the credit he deserves. I'm generous with my praise. You'll see soon enough, Assistant.